weekly wedding chats with the Sixpence, where we sit down over a cup of coffee and talk all things wedding, from tips and tricks to advice and inspiration. This series is set up in a way that starts as soon as you say yes, through to when you say I do, and the party after. Today I am drinking the Barista Creations Maple Pecan from Nespresso with almond milk and maple syrup as the sweetener. Cheers. Today we're diving into a topic that we hear about all the time, the difference between a wedding planner and a coordinator. We'll talk about what each does, why they matter, and how to decide which is right for you. A wedding is one of the most special days of your life. The details, the efforts, the memories that you're creating, everything matters. That's why having a professional to manage either the entirety of your wedding journey or just the day is not just helpful, it's essential. On average, it takes about 500 hours to plan a wedding. That is 12 full-time working weeks. It's a part-time job in and of itself. So, let's dive right into it. Coordination and full-time wedding planning can seem like the same thing or very similar, but they're very different and they're both very needed. Coordinators are best for couples who are highly organized, enjoy a planning process, low maintenance, and have plenty of time to spend on wedding planning. Wedding coordination can start anywhere from 4 months out to a month out from your wedding. Every professional and vendor is different with this timeline, and you would have to peruse their sites to discover what their coordination services involve. That's just an average number from what we've seen. Full-scale wedding planning starts anywhere from 12 to 18 months out before the wedding. It is most ideal for busy couples, people who have full-time jobs, who don't have time for a part-time job of planning a wedding, people who get easily overwhelmed, struggle to make decisions and lock things in, or people that just enjoy having someone else plan their wedding. You go to them with your dreams, your vision, your ideas, and they create something beautiful alongside you. The biggest difference between the two is how much help you would like and when it starts. What is a wedding planner? A wedding planner is your partner through the earliest stages of planning your wedding, through to the big day, and sometimes after. They're the strategist, creative director, and advocate all rolled into one. Their job is to make your wedding planning process seamless, joyful, and intentional. A planner can do the following. They can recommend vendors based upon your style, your budget, and your timeline. They can negotiate contracts and manage deposits, advise on design, color palettes, and overall aesthetic, help organize RSVP, trackings, hotel blocks, and rehearsal dinners. They will help build your wedding timeline and make sure that everything is aligned. Planners are experienced wealths of knowledge for couples that want to be informed from the very start. They know the industry inside and out. They know which vendors are reliable and excellent in their service, and they know which vendors to steer you away from. Hiring a planner can actually save you time and money because they can anticipate issues before they're issues. They can get ahead of things that you may have not even known about, and they can also work with vendors for packages. They know what vendors can do multiple services, and if you're within a budget constraint, like we talked about last week, or you only want to allocate a certain amount of your budget to one vendor, this is where your wedding planner is indispensable. They know the questions to ask. They know pricing is dynamic throughout the year. And so they will work with you and they will work with your budget to help you deliver a wedding that is within your style, your aesthetic, your vision with your priorities, but also within your budget. What is a wedding coordinator? Wedding coordinators can also be called event management or day of coordinators. You will hear those terms kind of used interchangeably. These wedding coordinators, day of coordinators, they step in closer to your wedding date. It depends on who you've hired, but some of the vendors on our preferred vendor list, their coordination services start 1 to 3 months out. Some start 4 months out. You will have to do your research and look at their packages to see when their packages start in terms of the coordination. Your wedding coordinator's focus is on execution of your wedding day. The wedding coordinator's job is to take all of your plans, all of your vision, and all of your hard work and make sure that it seamlessly is executed on the wedding day. Some of the key things a wedding coordinator will do. They will confirm all vendor arrivals, setups, and logistics. They will create the final timeline and help you with your seating chart. They will troubleshoot and work to solve any problems that arise in the days leading up to your wedding and on the wedding day itself. They will attend the rehearsal and walk through with you if the venue allows, and they will oversee the wedding day from start to finish. Now, all of those things is what a wedding planner does as well. We will get into a little bit more of the differences, but those are the things that a wedding coordinator, it really encompasses within their sphere of expertise. The best coordination is invisible, but it's invaluable. They catch things you don't think of, handle last minute problems, and let you be fully present for every moment. Here is where we'll talk now about the overlap between wedding planners and coordinators. Both have the mission to protect the integrity of your day. Both ensure that the day of timeline runs smoothly and that everyone is where they're supposed to be. Both will manage vendors day of as they arrive, as they set up, as they tear down. Both will solve for problems before they reach you. The main difference is the timing and the scope. Planners guide with months of preparation. Coordinators execute the plan once it's created. So we go back to the question, who needs which? If you are someone that enjoys planning, you're organized, you find joy and contentment in planning your wedding, and you're okay to figure some things out on your own, then a coordinator might be the perfect fit for you. If you are someone who has this grand vision of what you want your wedding to look like, but you don't even know where to start, and the thought of that stresses you out, and also you have a full-time job, so how would you plan this wedding? If that's how your brain works, a wedding planner might be a better option for you. This episode is not to steer you one way or the other, but it's just to help you start to think through what is best for me and my wedding. It's just to how soon you have them in the process and the scope of their involvement in your wedding planning. That is up to you. And as we said last week, your wedding is up to you. Your style, your preferences, your budget, your priority, that matters most. So don't feel pressured into one or the other. If you've decided that going with a coordinator is more up your alley, I just want to offer a few tips so that when you get to that handoff time, you've set yourself up for success. First, create a dedicated wedding email. Your inquiries to vendors, your invoices, your registry, that all goes there, so it's in one place. 2, compile your vendor contacts and final contracts in one place. If this isn't your email, maybe it's a Google Drive, but have them all in one place so that it's an easy access for you, but also for your coordinator. 3, you will have to provide them a seating chart and a final guest list, and then they will work with you to create that for your wedding. 4, you're going to want to share any music preferences, menu choices, and bar selection and loop them into that. The last really big tip is to outline for your coordinator the items that need to be packed up at the end of the night. We see this with weddings a lot. The end of the night comes, bride and groom have left, and there was a lack of communication between what goes where, between family and coordinator. A great coordinator will have it sorted, but just something to think about as you're hiring your vendors on of what is their tear down policy. If you've got rentals, what does that process look like? When do they have to be dropped back off? All of those things your coordinator or wedding planner will ask, but just make sure that you're thinking ahead about them and just taking notes so that when they ask 4 months out from your wedding, you're like, oh yeah, actually it's right here. Thank you. At the end of the day, listen, this episode is not incredibly complex. It comes from a place of wanting you to feel supported and present on your wedding day. Whether a wedding planner is a better choice for you or a coordinator, that is up to you. So, with that being said, this expense is based in Indiana, so we are going to recommend some local Indianapolis wedding planners that we've worked with time and time again, and we can highly recommend to you. First is A Simple Planner. They do full planning and they also do coordination. Christine & Co. does full wedding planning, partial that starts 6 months out, and then coordination that starts 1 to 3 months out, depending on what you choose. Annie & Co. is another great option. The next is Thoughtfully Designed. They actually have quite a range of the services that they provide. They can do full service and design. They also can do floral and decor and coordination. They have a very flexible service list to fit their clients best. If you go on their website, you can scroll through and see everything that they offer. It is quite comprehensive and really impressive. And then the last one is Captivating Events. They do full wedding planning and partial wedding planning. And they also do coordination, and that starts 4 months out. This episode is sponsored by Foundations Wedding Planning, our in-house wedding planning service offered exclusively to the Sixpence and Westwood clients. Foundations specializes in bespoke events, creating unforgettable celebrations that reflect your love story. They offer 2 distinct packages: full-scale wedding planning and design, and coordination that starts 4 months out from your wedding. Foundations is comprised of a group of individuals with event design experience spanning over 9 countries and 16 states. They want to help you throw the party of a lifetime. Check out their website below in our caption. Thank you for joining us this week on Weekly Wedding Chats. If this was helpful for you, share it with someone planning their wedding. Like, subscribe, save it for later, and remember, you don't have to carry it alone. XOXO. Love ya. Bye.